Good afternoon. I'm Brian Yacono. Thanks for being with us at noon today. Let's check in with meteorologist Ryan Brett and look outside. Would have thought maybe early September based on this morning.
I forecasted it, Brian.
Big change.
But when I walked outside at about 8 o'clock this morning, I said, wow.
Well, yeah, what is going on? The shift from yesterday.
Yeah, a big change, and it all happened just overnight last night. We've swept away the humidity, and it feels so comfortable out there. Most of the state has a deep blue sky with just a few patchy cumulus clouds developing farther inland, and these temperatures are very pleasant for a sunny day in late July. 72 in Portland, 71 in Bangor, and we only have 60s in the mountains and up north right now, and it's coming with dew point levels that are off the charts low for this time of the year. We're down in the 40s, which means the air is crisp, comfortable, and dry out there. Clouds will be popping up in the mountains and north this afternoon. There are some showers, but most of those stay to our north in Quebec, and to the south we remain mostly sunny. This area of high pressure brings us nice weather into and through the weekend. So you'll see that here. Lots of sunshine to the south, mid to upper 70s, 60s up north with a few extra clouds this afternoon. Any of those clouds will fade away tonight. Very pleasant out there this evening. If you're going to be out tonight, though, you probably need a sweatshirt. The low temperatures tonight are going to be super comfortable for this time of the year, between 50 and 54 degrees in most places, with just a light wind overnight tonight. And then tomorrow for our Friday, lots of sunshine, a pleasant day. Should do a couple of degrees better than today. Temps in the upper 70s to around 80. And again, tomorrow, we're not looking at much humidity out there either. Lots of sunshine, and we'll keep that rolling through the weekend. Some places could use a little rain. We'll take a look at when our next chance for rain will be. That's coming up in about 10 minutes.
Ryan, thank you. Standish firefighters responding to back-to-back fires at the same home. The fire chief says they first responded the first time to a fire last night, which they say they put out, and then again just before 5 this morning. All this happened on River Meadows Drive. Authorities say everyone in the home was able to get out safely. They do not yet know what caused either fire or if they're even related. There is a lot of damage, though. The garage there is a total loss. The side of the house is damaged. The fire chief says they faced a couple of obstacles trying to get that fire under control: low manpower and low water supply, so they called in backup. Sebago, Windham, Gorham, and Buxton Fire all responding there. In fact, about 20 firefighters worked together to get the flames out. The state is now investigating the cause of both of those. New information now about a fire we brought you as breaking news last night. The fire marshal's office now says a propane leak likely caused an explosion and a fire at a home in Bridgton. Happened yesterday afternoon on Devon Terrace. Neighbors say new owners moved in about a month ago and that construction workers were working on the deck before the fire started. According to officials, 5 people were taken to the hospital, with 4 of them suffering minor injuries. One neighbor says a woman had been blown out of the house and had burns on her legs. She was taken by life flight to Maine Medical Center. One firefighter also had minor injuries. That home is considered a loss. More people are questioning the way ICE operates following the deadly shooting of a Biddeford resident, Johan Guerrero. That's why a U.S. Senator visited one of the facilities in Scarborough last week. News Center Maine's Alex Haskell has our report.
United States Senator Ed Markey.
This is video posted to X by the Massachusetts Democrat showing the moment before he entered the Scarborough ICE facility.
Checking back in.
During his visit, Markey says ICE told him the agent who shot and killed Johan Guerrero in Biddeford last week worked here.
They also confirmed that they have no body cameras and they do no training at this facility.
The lack of body cameras is something Maine Congresswoman Shelley Pingree says she has specifically raised with DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen since Guerrero's death. Pingree says Mullen told her at least some ICE agents will be wearing body cameras within 45 days.
It's outrageous that they're working in our state without body cameras and that we don't have sufficient documentation of what goes on in something like the horrific shooting in Biddeford.
We will continue to pursue these issues.
Pingree toured the Scarborough ICE facility last December after concerns that immigrants were not being allowed to bring in legal representation.
I just recently checked and we have not been getting complaints.
Pingree says her office stays in regular contact with staff at the facility. She says it's primarily used for immigration check-ins, but it also has holding cells where people can be kept for short periods of time.
We would like to see them just shut it down. We don't need it. I mean, I'm one of the people who thinks that ICE as an agency should be abolished because of the way they've been operating.
And it's not just what happens inside the facility that more people are paying attention to.
We come here and record when they're coming, when they're going.
This man, who does not want us to use his name, is a member of the action group Indivisible Team Southern Maine. He and others often gather outside the facility, documenting agents and their movements.
So that when it comes time to pay up, we'll have information we can lend to legal people. In addition to just, we want people to know what's in their backyard.
In Scarborough, Alex Haskell, News Center, Maine.
Meanwhile, a group of clergy members from across Maine is speaking out against the killing of Johann Sebastian Guerrero. Pastors and reverends with the Maine Faith Leaders and Maine Council of Churches say Guerrero's death was unjustified and has created fear among immigrant congregants. Today, this is new video. Speaking at Spring Point Ledge in South Portland, they are calling for ICE to end their operations in Maine, as well as vehicle stops nationwide.
The hearts of our immigrant neighbors right here in Biddeford are breaking. Our hearts are breaking. We are choosing solidarity, we are choosing compassion, and we are choosing the right vision of America.
Their call to action is in coordination with churches from Texas and Florida, two states where immigrants were also recently killed by ICE or in ICE custody. A federal jury has now found a man from Eddington guilty of threatening former Vice President Kamala Harris. Court records say Thaddeus Wind also targeted Maine law enforcement and Tesla CEO Elon Musk on social media. The FBI also found swords at Wind's home during a search last year. Wind faces up to 5 years in prison for every charge. A sentencing date has not yet been scheduled. Stockton Springs Ambulance Service, which covers Prospect, has now withdrawn from the Waldo County Emergency Medical Services Mutual Aid Agreement. It allows local ambulance services to respond to each other's calls when additional emergency resources are needed. According to EMS Service Chief Amy Drinkwater, last year they took 25 calls from Winterport and Frankfort. However, they only budget for 10 mutual aid calls a year, and she says the mutual aid was being used to make up for staffing shortages.
Our service is not changing our response plan. Our response plan is staying the same. If a service needs us, a town needs us, we're going to go help them. The only difference is the difference of, is it mutual aid, true mutual aid, or is it a paid for service that we're helping you for?
She says they are also exploring direct mutual aid agreements with neighboring towns.